Hi everyone, it's Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and although Win My Vote is not ready for the 2019 election, we do have a test site up that I used the Seattle ballot to do some testing. So you can go up there and see some candidates and see some videos and learn a little bit about propositions and measures and that type of stuff. And it may be, even though it's a test site, it may be more information than you may be able to find in other places. So sorry about the glare on there. So I left all of the city council seats up here so you could look at all of them, and you can just kind of open these up. And it's really designed so that you just choose your own. So when you're signing up under here, under city district, you would just go down and choose your own district. But if you want to see them all, you can just leave it open like that, and you can see them all. So we'll open these up, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here you would click on the candidate, and you can hear, the candidate video here, and this is sort of their position statement or their candidate statement. You can see a video endorsement here, or you can click here and see them all. I didn't have time to put all of them in there because, again, this is just kind of a test site. We're just testing the back end to see if it works. But this is where, you would go to see some endorsements, and then you can click straight through and watch, those videos.
How's it going? I am Joe Wynn on this lovely Saturday morning. Sorry I can't be with you at the
And then this right here on the issues will take you here, so you can click straight through and see the candidates' priorities. Here is a Q&A, and this is a video where it goes through and it breaks up each one, I think about 9 different questions that's asked to both candidates. So you'll be able to hear the question and answer on both candidates in the race there. And then this segment right here, Drinks with Daniels, this is just a sort of a one-on-one interview with the candidate, and it's pretty good. I watched most of these.
Next month, voters in Seattle will determine district is different than some of the other districts across Seattle in terms of. I think I'm different. I mean, the Seattle Times, has said I've raised the bar for consistent services in the city. But people really came after you in the primary because you are an incumbent, because you are one of the 3 incumbents. Did they? In terms of the PAC money. Yeah. Yes. My record.
So you can kind of go through there. Also, at the race on the ballot itself, you can click here, which is watch the debate, and this will give you a video of the full debate.
Dealership, and the mayor said, hey, this is a great source of revenue. If there was another source to pay for our needs, I'd consider it. So it's not unusual to have a conversation in a state that has such an upside down tax system where the people with the least money are paying the largest percentage of their income.
And then you can give Phil his profile is designed the same way. All of these city council candidates, their profiles are all designed the same way, with the Drinks with Daniel, the Q&A, the priorities, and then the endorsements there. So you can then go through and give him a couple of minutes as well. And then when you decide which one you want, you can just favorite that candidate. And sorry about that, I'm obviously not selected one of the districts. So you have to select your district in order to favorite them. But since Washington is vote at home, you should have your real ballot right in front of you. So it won't make a difference if you do that either way. So down here are the county races, the assessor. He's running uncontested, so he's not really even campaigning. And same thing with, the judges here, although you should be able to, if you can, click through to his website, and at least it'll give you a profile of him, some of his comments, and some information that he has up there. One of the problems with judges and those types of races that don't have, somebody running against them is that they really don't, campaign that much. They don't have a lot of information about themselves. Director of elections, these are, again, they have a pretty close format, but not an exact format because they didn't have some of the same type of resources out there. So you can kind of click through and, read what she has to say there and that type of stuff. And obviously you can always watch the main video.
King County Elections Director serves a 4-year term.
Your election. Voting in King County has never been more convenient. During my first term, we added 60 ballot drop boxes. Now 95% of voters live within 3 miles of a secure 24-hour voting location. We implemented prepaid postage because you shouldn't have to buy a stamp to vote.
And then you can give her opponent a couple of minutes as well.
But the levers of power in the county and the nation are in your hands, because it turns out you could be the swing voters who tip the balance of power in one direction or another. My campaign has no choice but to turn its lonely eyes to you, because you, of all people, have not only seen the case.
And then, when you've heard enough, then you can, favorite which one you like here. And here are the other races. And there's some really, interesting races here where there's a lot of differences between the candidates. And you can go down through all of the different candidates and races, and you can get down to the state propositions. And the way that these work is that you can click on the proposition, you can read about it, you can see the full language here, and then you can see groups and organizations that are supporting it and groups and organizations that are opposing it. So here on the voting no side, you can watch this.
States that someone will make the decision for you. We don't want wording that states that, you know what, you already have too many ages in this one place, we're going to cap that, and then you need to add on this particular race.
And then you can go over here to this side.
I served my country to protect our values. Too many returning veterans don't have a shot at good jobs and contracts.
That's why we need I-1000.
And that's not a good example because it's not a real deep discussion. It's kind of just a commercial. Let's see if I can find a better one. A lot of these are just written ones. Yeah, it looks like this was the only video. A lot of times you can drill down into this.
I served my country to protect our values.
And kind of see what pops up next. Or you can actually go down. You can drill right through to the YouTube channel and then, click on Washington Fairness. And then you can see the other videos that they have posted here.
People who are hovering. Yes, folks have their ballots in hand right now. I would say take a look at our coalition. Look at who is supporting the opposition. Look at who is funding them and who they're.
Yeah, and then again, when you decide on this one, you can just click the vote, and then you can say you want to vote yes on that, and when you go back to your ballot, you'll see that 88 is now yes. So you can go through all of these, and say yes and no, and kind of go around and fill these out when you have time, so that they're all populated there, and then fill out your own ballot. And then there's the one local one. Hopefully this helps. And again, if you're still watching, I can't help but to show you what the real version looks like, the new version. It's going to look like this. You're going to sign up the same way. Free voters are free. Groups and organizations are free. And you're going to see your ballot, the same way. It's going to look very similar with important dates and find my polling place, my favorites, and print out my ballot. You'll be able to scroll up and down the ballot. We're adding pending propositions, so you'll be able to see those. Who's responsible for gathering signatures, who's supporting them, who's opposing them. Even at the signature stage here. And then as the candidates build their profile, you'll see those, populating onto your ballot. Also, the trusting sources adding trusted sources looks a little differently now. So you'll see, the whole sort of library up front where you can add some real quickly, based on groups and organizations and individuals you already know. And then you'll have a search bar here. So if you wanted to search Moms Demand Action, you could say, yep, I want to see them. You have a choice of quickly adding them, or you can also click straight through and see their group page, which is really just your ballot. So that they've made endorsements on your ballot, you'll be able to see that. So if I'm in San Francisco, California, and Moms Demand Action have endorsed candidates on my ballot, I'll be able to see them all like this. And I'll be able to scroll down and see where they stand on all the propositions and measures. And then when I decide, you know what, I like Mark Cuban, so I'm going to vote for him. And that happens to be, I can do it straight through on this ballot because all of the ballots are all connected. So I can just click on that. And then if I want, I can vote like them completely. So let's say maybe I'm part of this group, or I have a close friend that's part of this group that was part of the process of evaluating all of the candidates and propositions, and I agree with all of them. So I'm just going to kind of do a straight party ticket there. But I can always scroll down here and decide, you know what, I agree with everything except for this proposition 2. I'm going to change my vote to no. So you have full control over your ballot all the time through this ballot. You also be able to quickly see how the proposition is doing, and you can do that on all of them. So then you add that one. And then you can even search for individuals, friends of yours, and you search for Sarah Smith. Here she is, and you add her. And now when you go back to your ballot, and you're looking through the candidates, well, here's actually one feature where you'll be able to see how much they've raised so far. So this candidate has raised $300,000. This candidate has raised $500. This is one way when my vote aims to get money out of elections, is that it won't matter to the voter because I'm the voter here and I'm seeing them all side by side. This doesn't affect me at all. I'm going to click on to Mike Young here, and I can watch a video. I can read about him. I can do a quick bio. I can see the party. I can share his profile. I can ask him questions. I can go straight through to his website. I can also donate to his campaign straight through here. But I want to, see where he stands on issues. So I can click here, see where he stands on education, and I can scroll down and read all of the issues. And I can also do a little quick menu here and click on the issue that I'm, most involved in or that's most important to me. And since the candidates are building and managing and updating their own profiles, they can make these issue statements as elaborate as they like, or as elaborate as the voters are telling them to make them. So here he says this is where his stance are. He supports it, but I want to drill down deeper and see, exactly where he stands on all of the aspects of this issue. So now I can come up here and I can go to endorsements. These are the groups and organizations and individuals that this candidate is featuring. So these are not my groups and organizations. And let's say I don't want to see anyone but my trusted sources. I can then click on, show me just my trusted sources. And I can now see, okay, there's Sarah and she's supporting Mike, and I can click on, her and watch her video and read her comments about this candidate. And then I can go down. I like United America. I want to hear what they say. And then, I decide to favorite him. So I go back to my ballot. He's now moved in that first position, and these kinds are fogged out a little bit, so it's nice and prominent. And I'm going to share this candidate with some friends of mine and say, hey, check this guy out. Now, instead of just saying, hey, check this guy out, here's his Facebook page or here's his Twitter account, which you can then read through and then leave and probably never go back. Here you get your ballot, and you'll see his profile here. And if you want, you can sign up real simply with just a simple click. And now you're, on his profile on your ballot. And you look at endorsements and you say, just show me mine. And we have a mutual friend of Sarah's that you added her. So now you can see the same, video and comment, again, right when and where you need it most. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to favorite, Mike as well. And he's now favorited there. So let's say you click on trusted sources and you add a whole bunch of trusted sources. Now, when you're going down here and you're clicking on the proposition, again, you'll see your trusted sources nice and prominent. You can watch an explainer video, you can read about it, and then you can scroll through, and watch all of your trusted sources. And you can see what the other side has to say as well. This right here is something where we will display that there are other groups and organizations, supporting and opposing. And if you're interested, you can open them up, and then you can click and listen to them, here. And so now it's time for you to vote, and you decide to vote yes. And yes, you want to do an endorsement on this. So you can put a video in there, and then you can publish, and then, you're selected yes, so it's nice and prominent. And again, you can then share that back to me. Let's say Pastor Voter 22. You're going to share this back. I added you as a trusted source when we exchanged emails, and now you're right here, and now you can tell me why, Proposition 2 is such a great idea, and I can say, okay, great, you sold me on that one, and now it's on my ballot. So this is a way of really being able to have the information that you need where you need it so you can take a quick action. Thanks for those people who stayed with me to the end, and look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.